Hi everyone, it's me, Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to make this coaster, and I know it kind of looks funny right here, and maybe you've seen the thumbnail and you're like, well, that's not exactly what was on the thumbnail. Well, that's because this is my test, and I wanted to do something for the 4th of July, hence the reason the one in the thumbnail is red, white, and blue. This is just some of the same type of cotton, just in black and orange and black and lime. And I used it to work something up to see what I thought, what I liked, what I didn't like, how I wanted to change it, that type of thing. But this is so you get the overall idea here. So my thought process was this was going to be a star part of your fireworks. You know, the explosion, and then these were like the streamers, the trailers that come off of it. So if you're having a little get together or something and you wanted something a little fun and different, very different, I thought this might be kind of cool just to make and have these coasters on your table for 4th of July. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move this out of the way. We're going to start with the center here and work our way out. Now, for the center, I am going to be using, it's Peaches and Cream, and the color is Nautical Ombre is what it says. But it's red, white, and blue. So that's what we're doing. Red, white, and blue. All right, if you'd like to use a magic loop or magic circle, you are more than welcome to do so. I have a heck of a time with them. I can do them. I don't like them. So I chain 4. If you would like to follow along with a chain to start off your ring with me, we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, if you're wondering what size hook I'm using a Susan Bates 5.5. Now I'm going to slip stitch to that very first stitch, grabbing hold of that chain with my thumb and my middle finger to create a ring, because we are going to be working into that ring and over the top of our tail. So I'm just bringing that tail around. All right, if you would like to do a chain of 2 or a chain of 3 to start, you are more than welcome to do so. I'm going to zoom in and show you this time how I am going to do my mock double crochet at the beginning of every round. So for the mock double crochet, we're going to pull up to about a double crochet. Place your finger on the loop on your hook and hold it there, bringing the hook towards you, down under that loop, and back up. Now we're going to bring it around and into the circle, yarn over, and pull up a loop. We now have 3 loops on our hook, still holding that first one. Yarn over and go through 2, still holding that first one. Yarn over and go through those last 2. And that is a mock double crochet. I do recommend putting a stitch marker at the top of that right away. That way you know that is your very first double crochet and it is the top of the stitch. So to find the top of the stitch, it was those 2 strands at the top of that loop that you were holding. Move it out of the way and move the hook out of the way so that way you can see. Those 2 strands, which created that very first loop that was on your hook. That is the top of your double crochet, that mock double crochet. So there's my stitch marker. Now we're going to place 9 more double crochets into that ring. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You should have a total of 10 double crochets, including your very first one. So we're going to want to check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to slip stitch to where your stitch marker is to complete round 1. There we go. We are now slip stitched to the very first stitch. And later you can sew in this tail, cinch it up, and sew it in. Now we're going to begin round 2. Round 2, we're going to start off with a mock double crochet or chain up of 2 or 3, whichever you prefer to start your first double crochet. So here we are. First double crochet, my mock double crochet. I'm going to place my stitch marker back into the top of that stitch. And now I'm going to place one more double crochet into that very same stitch. And now your repeat is to place 2 double crochets into every stitch all the way around. At the end of this round, you'll have 20 double crochets. All right, once you've verified that you have 20 double crochets, we're going to once again slip stitch to the top of that very first double crochet. We're going to do one more increasing round here. So once again, we're going to start with a mock double crochet or your start of choice. Replace my stitch marker. And place one more double crochet into that very first stitch. Now we're going to start our repeat. 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And 2 double crochets into the following stitch. And that is your repeat for round 3. 1 into the next. And 2 into the following. All the way around. Once you get to the end, you should have a total of 30 double crochets, and then slip stitch to the top of your first double crochet. I'll meet back up with you at that point. So your last stitch for round 3 was 1 double crochet into the last stitch. And now we're going to slip stitch to the very first stitch. Going to start things a little different for the last round, which is the coaster part. So we're going to chain 1 and single crochet back into that same stitch. And I'm going to replace my stitch marker just so I know that that is the last and final stitch, or the first one. Now we're going to place a half double crochet into the next. A double crochet into the next. A treble crochet into the next. Now we're going to create a picot. So we're going to chain 1, 2, and 3 and come back down into the side of this treble crochet, picking up 2 strands and slip stitch. That'll give you a nice sturdy picot. And now we're going to treble crochet back into that same stitch. Now we're going to go in reverse. double crochet into the next, half double into the following, and single into the next. Now we repeat what we just did. Half double, double, treble, picot, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, and treble back into the same stitch. Double into the following, half double into the next, and single into the next. All right, you're going to continue to repeat that all the way around 3 more times of that repeat. So you will have a total of 5 picots. I'll meet up with you once I've reached the end. All right, once you've made it all the way around to the end, we're just going to slip stitch to that very first stitch of the round, which was a single crochet. And now you can start from here and work a chain of 15, or you can cut away and begin using alternative colors. Entirely up to you. This one I'm going to leave the same because I'm already attached, and I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. All right, so now we're going to make those curlicues, the streamers off the end of the firework. As it's going up and it explodes, that's what we're working on now. So we're going to skip that first little loop there. It's already on our hook. We're going to go into the second one. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and single crochet. We're going to do that 2 times in every chain. So 2 single crochets in every chain all the way back to our star, our coaster. Now, if you choose to make some longer, that's okay. You're more than welcome to do so. That is up to you. For the longer ones on the green and orange, they were a chain of 30. So I just doubled the amount of chains. And for this one, I'm only doing 15 for the sake of working here on video. I don't want to make them really long. And I keep missing the second single crochet. That's something that you're going to have to watch yourself as well, is make sure that you get 2 single crochets in every chain stitch, so that way it curlicues around. It doesn't take very long. It's just a matter of making sure that you get all the stitches in. All right, last 2. And then what I'm going to do is slip stitch back to that single crochet just to secure everything, and chain 1, 2, and then cut away from my yarn. There we go. I'm going to pull that through, and then I'm just going to pinch the chain 2 and pull the tail and push those chain 2 all the way down to the work. So here's our curly Q, and you can give it a little bit of a tug and stretch it out so it's like a streamer, like that. All right, so you'll sew in the ends when you're done. The next one we're going to do is on the picot. So again, I'm just going to use the same yarn I'm already using. And you're going to go through that chain 3 of your picot. There we go. And I'm just going to pull that through the picot. And I'm going to begin chaining. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And then once again, I'm just going to go back into the chain and work 2 single crochets all the way back in every single chain. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now off camera. 2 single crochets in every chain back to the coaster. Now, once I've made it all the way back to the picot, I'm just going to once again slip stitch to that picot just to secure everything, and then chain 2, cut away from my ball of yarn, pull that loop through, and push that chain 2 down into a knot to secure it. There we are. And again, just stretch it out. So, of course, we have our tails here that need to be sewn in. And you can put as many of these fireworks, streamers, tails as you wish. It is entirely up to you. But I'm putting them in the single crochet and the picot. That's where I'm putting them. And I'll bring back the other one just to show you. So I have 2 picots exposed. You could do it even more where there's only 1 picot and add more here. So what I have is 1, 2, 3 picots with streamers on them, and then 2 single crochets in between those with streamers on them. And again, I just thought it was a little bit maybe of a fun idea to have like firework coasters. All right, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and finish the red, white, and blue one because that's what I originally wanted, was a red, white, and blue coaster. And hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you have any questions, please comment down below and I will do my best to answer them. Be blessed, be a blessing, and until next time, bye for now.